My name is Jack, and I am 33 years old. Emily is 36, my wife of 12 years. My sharing today is painful, but maybe by writing all this out, I can make sense of my life that has become a blur. All of this started this summer when Emily got promoted at work. We were initially excited. She'd put in the hours and was due a pat on the back. But what we didn't expect was how much the new job would wear her out. This exposure came with so much on the plate, and the stress soon took a toll. Emily started working longer hours, taking on more and more projects and more demanding work. She also worked the graveyard shift and didn't sleep well anywhere. She was always worn out, tetchy, exhausted. Worse, she took extra shifts to support her boss when she barely had the energy to take on her day job. I tried to be there for her. I wasn't picking at her when she came home upset or called me names for nothing. She was just tired, I said to myself, in need of mercy. I listened when she said things about work, encouraged her when she felt low, let her go when she needed to be. But over the weeks, I could feel our distance creeping in. It started to seep into our relationship. Emily and I were friends forever, best of friends, if you like. And now we were squabbling ever more. The fights were different too. They were stingier, more personal, and always initiated by Emily. I didn't know what was wrong. I put it down to stress and hormones, that she'd needed time to get used to her new job. But now I think that was when she started moving towards someone else. Emily had altered her behavior by the month of October. She was working 24/7 and much more focused on how she looked before heading to work. She started to wear makeup more, her hair changed, and she bought new clothes. I originally thought she was dressing up for the new job. I liked her because she was taking work very seriously and didn't care. But those shifts now I can interpret differently. She began separating from me elsewhere too. We used to be able to chat for hours about anything and everything. Now we were just talking very briefly. She didn't tell me about her work, which she used to do almost daily. But she would come home, say hardly a word, and then go straight to bed, like she had closed me out. We were close as never, and I didn't know how to hold on. We went out one night to look at a school for Emily's daughter. It was supposed to be a nice trip, something we'd do as a family. But then we got into a different debate. I'd wanted to go out with Emily for the night, but Emily had mentioned that she had to work that night. She didn't mention it to me before, and I had no idea. I was angry and hurt, and I told her. That turned into a third angry exchange, which I left at the end of feeling like there was something extremely wrong. That night I couldn't help but feel that Emily was burying something. There was always a hint that there was another person there. That was crazy just thinking about it. I didn't doubt her, and I had no good reason to think she would let me down. But something told me to ask. So I did, and I asked her bluntly, did she have anyone else? She went straight for the defense, calling me stupid and scared. She was denying it all and thinking I was shitbag for raising it. And over the next few weeks, Emily got even more crazy. She began going out with new friends, girls I hadn't met and didn't know anything about. I didn't want to get into it, and she laughed at me. She became more withdrawn, more cynical, and less involved in our friendship. Arguments went on, and they each drove us apart. But one night, after a really ugly argument, Emily rushed outside the house, promising to call in sick. And that's when I decided I had to get answers. I had just bought an AirTag, and I taped it under her car before she drove away. I couldn't get over it. I didn't want to snoop on her, but I could not shake the sense that something wasn't right. She woke up in some dude's apartment, the AirTag informed me, and stayed there all night. I had a heart attack on the notification. I thought I'd been dug out of the ground. What to do or how to cope with what I'd just read. Next day I went up to Emily. She did not deny it. She, rather, confessed that she'd been texting this guy for months. She said he allowed her to be heard and understood as she was not in me. She claimed it was this relationship that got her to go to bed with him. Her excuse? She said she wanted attention. 12 years of marriage and 2 children later, that's what she said she was asking me to sacrifice. I intervened to save our marriage after the truth was revealed. I loved Emily, and for everything I was ready to stand up for us. And so we went to therapy, and I just spilled my guts and tried to figure out how we had come to this place. I had said that I was in love with her, I loved our family, and I was going to fix everything. But it didn't seem to matter how much I strove. I wasn't the only one doing it. It took painful therapy sessions. I found out a lot about myself and Emily. She told me about being abandoned and not appreciated, about her career having taken over, and how she'd sought comfort in this other man. Yet even after she confessed all this, she did not give up contact with him. It was as if she wouldn't let go of what she had started with him, even though it was wrecking our marriage. Months passed and nothing changed. Emily kept talking to him, and we only got worse. I could not continue to fight for someone else who was not fighting for me. The lie was brutal. The trick's so cruel, I do not know if I'll ever fully recover. I can't even tell you how hurting it is to love someone so completely, only for them to break your heart and go. It's not over yet, but I am still processing everything that has happened. Some days are better than others, but the pain never completely goes away, always lurking. I trusted, I was loyal, I was in love with Emily, and she gave it away to someone else. The future I have no idea, but I am living day by day. All I can do now is focus on my kids and restore the life I was left without by the person I believed I could rely on most.